An anthology of readings of Almighty God's words. God's utterances to the entire universe. The 16th Utterance. There is so much that I wish to say to man, so many things that I must tell him. But man's abilities of acceptance are too lacking. He is incapable of fully grasping my words according to that which I provide, and only understands one aspect, but remains ignorant of the other. Yet I do not put man to death because of his powerlessness, nor am I aggrieved by his weakness. I merely do my work, and speak as I have always done, even though man does not understand my will. When the day comes, people will know me in the depths of their hearts, and will remember me in their thoughts. When I depart from this earth, will exactly be when I ascend to the throne in man's heart, which is to say, it will be when all men know me. So too will it be when the sons and people of God rule over the earth. Those who know me will assuredly become the pillars of my kingdom, and none but they will be qualified to rule and wield power in my kingdom. All those who know me are possessed of my being, and able to live out me among all men. I care not to what extent man knows me. No one can hinder my work in any way, and man can offer me no assistance and do nothing for me. Man can only follow my guidance in my light, and seek my will in this light. Today, people have become qualified, and believe they can strut about in front of me, and laugh and joke with me without the slightest inhibition, and address me as an equal. Still, man does not know me. Still, he believes that in essence we are about the same, that we are both of flesh and blood, and both dwell in the human world. His reverence for me is too meager. He reveres me when he is before me, but is incapable of serving me before the Spirit. It is as if, for man, the Spirit does not exist at all. As a result, no man has ever known the Spirit, and all people see only the flesh and blood of my incarnation, and do not behold the Spirit of God. Can my will really be accomplished in such a way? People are experts at deceiving me. They seem to have been specially trained by Satan in order to fool me. Yet I am untroubled by Satan. I will still use my wisdom to conquer the whole of mankind, and to defeat the corrupter of all mankind, in order that my kingdom may be established on earth. Among man, there are those who have attempted to ascertain the size of the stars, or the magnitude of space. Yet never has their research proved fruitful, and they can but hang their heads in dismay and resign themselves to failure. Looking up among all men and observing the dynamics of man in his failures, I see none who are utterly convinced of me, none who obey me and submit to me. How wild are the ambitions of man! When the entire face of the deep was murky, among man I began to taste the bitterness of the world. My spirit travels throughout the world, and looks upon the hearts of all people. Yet so too do I conquer mankind in my incarnate flesh. Man does not see me, for he is blind. Man does not know me, for he has grown numb. Man opposes me, for he is disobedient. Man comes to bow down before me, for he has been conquered by me. Man comes to love me, for I am inherently worthy of man's love. Man lives out me and manifests me, because my power and my wisdom make him after my heart. I have a place in man's heart, but never have I received man's love of me in his spirit. There are indeed things in man's spirit that he loves above all else, but I am not one of them, and so man's love is like a soap bubble. When the wind blows, it pops and is gone, never to be seen again. I have always been constant and unchanging in my attitude toward man. Could any among man have done the same? In the eyes of man, I am as impalpable and invisible as air, and for this reason the great majority of people seek only in the boundless sky, or upon the rolling sea, or upon the placid lake, or among empty letters and doctrines. There is not a single person who knows the substance of mankind. Much less is there one who can say anything of the mystery within me. And so I do not ask that man achieve the highest of standards that he imagines I require of him. Amid my words, mountains topple, waters flow in reverse. Man becomes submissive, and lakes begin to flow without cease. Though the roiling seas surge angrily toward the sky, amid my words such seas are becalmed like the surface of a lake. With the slightest wave of my hand, fierce gales immediately dissipate and depart from me, and the human world is immediately returned to tranquility. But when I unleash my wrath, the mountains are immediately torn asunder. The ground immediately begins to convulse. Water immediately dries up, and man is immediately beset by disaster. Because of my wrath, I pay no heed to the screams of man, provide no assistance in answer to his cries, for my anger is rising. When I am among the heavens, never have the stars been thrown into panic by my presence. Instead, they put their hearts into their work for me, and so I bestow more light upon them and make them shine more brilliantly, so that they gain greater glory for me. The brighter the heavens, the darker the world beneath. So many people have complained that my arrangements are unbefitting. So many have left me to make their own kingdom, which they employ to betray me and reverse the current state of darkness. Yet who has achieved this by their resolve? And who has been successful in their resolution? Who can reverse that which has been arranged by my hand? When spring spreads across the land, I secretly and quietly send light to the world, so that on earth, man has a sudden sense of freshness in the air. Yet at that very moment, I obscure the eyes of man, so that he sees only a fog cloaking the ground, and all people and things are rendered indistinct. People can but sigh to themselves, "Why did the light last only for a moment? Why does God give man only fog and haziness? Amid people's despair, the fog disappears in an instant. But when they spy a glimmer of light, I unleash a torrent of rain upon them, and their eardrums are shattered by the thunderstorm as they sleep. Seized by panic, they have no time to take shelter, and are engulfed by the downpour. In an instant, all things beneath the heavens are washed clean in the midst of my wrathful ire. People no longer complain about the onset of heavy rain, and in them all is born reverence. Because of this sudden onslaught of rain, the great majority of people are drowned by the water that rains down from the sky, becoming corpses in the water. I look upon the entire earth and see that many are awakening, that many are repenting, that many are searching for the source of the waters in little boats, that many are bowing down to me to ask for my forgiveness, that many have seen the light, that many have seen my face, that many have the courage to live, and that the whole world has been transformed. Following this great torrent of rain, all things have returned to what they were in my mind, and are no longer disobedient. Before long, the whole land is filled with the sound of laughter. Everywhere on earth there is an atmosphere of praise, and nowhere is without my glory. My wisdom is everywhere on earth, and throughout the entire universe. Among all things are the fruits of my wisdom. Among all people teem the masterworks of my wisdom. Everything is like all things in my kingdom, and all people dwell in rest beneath my heavens, like the sheep upon my pastures. I move above all men, and am watching everywhere. Nothing ever looks old, and no person is as he used to be. I rest upon the throne. I recline across the whole universe, and I am fully satisfied, for all things have recovered their holiness, and I can peacefully reside within Zion once again, and the people on earth can lead serene, contented lives under my guidance. All peoples are managing everything in my hand. All peoples have regained their former intelligence and original appearance. They are no longer covered with dust, but in my kingdom are as pure as jade, each with a face like that of the Holy One within man's heart. For my kingdom has been established among men.